Welcome back to the first watch along of the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast season. It's our season, Tour de France Stage 1. Try to sync up your TV with us. We're at 42.6Ks to go, and this has been one of the most nervous starts to a Grand Tour that I can remember. There's a reason why we haven't had stages like this starting Grand Tours. Grand Tour organisers are petrified that GC guys will crash out, and that's why we've had prologues, team time trials, hilly sprints, straight up hill stages like last year in the Tour. This is a traditional nervous Northern France sprint stage, and we've already got 2 abandoned.
Crazy, right? Ghana crashing early, together with Bissiger as well crashing early, out of the race already, and obviously those are not like the prime teams you look at when it comes to winning the Tour de France, but I was hoping to see Ghana in this Tour de France. I was looking forward to see what Bissiger would do for the Decathlon AG2R. So there's 2 riders that will be missed in the race, but also Lenny's not having the best day of his life, eh?
Martinez was under pressure in the first crosswind section, and now basically every time the peloton accelerates, he gets dropped. He comes back in the cars. I think discussing the cars is going to be a big issue today. There's been, Ghana wasn't allowed to use the car coming back after his crash, and then guys who had mechs or crashes like Nace, Rangers just then, like Affini, have been able to use the car. So I think we're going to have to closely look at the Commissaires report this evening. I have Tim Merlier doing an interview on screen now, and I have not seen at all today, Benji.
Tim Merlier.
Tim Merlier is saving all his energy. He's not getting involved in any crosswind nonsense. I was watching Jasper Stuyven just before, sitting third wheel, half his shoulder in the wind, and he was breathing heavy. And I'm thinking, he's the second last man to do the Milan lead-out. So I think this is shaping up quite nicely for a Merlier hectic sprint win.
And also just in general, the threat of, yes, there were potential echelons signaled before the stage starts, but there does not need to be echelons on the road. There does not need to be impact and chaos on the road for there to be actual consequences. We already spoke about the crashes, but also next to that, there's the factor that we've got the entire peloton being stressed all day. You mentioned the stress already, but we've seen literally Visma and UAE fight already on this first stage. Benoit and Soler at the feed zone, for example. Those are moments that the stress between those teams are lighting up, and that has not happened between some of the other teams.
Yeah, I do think Visma and UAE today are more in a mutual accord of let's get both our GC guys through this race safely. Although Pogacar is actually... The curious thing to me today is the really big difference to UAE and Visma is Vingegaard is always on Feeney's wheel or Campenaert's wheel or whoever. He's always on Benoit's wheel. The UAE guys, Sivakov right now, if you're looking right now, Velens, Narvaez, Sivakov, they're right there in position.
Yeah.
Pogacar's not there. And so Pogacar, still his instinct, and I think it saves him energy compared to Vingegaard, it has to, his instinct is to serve and freewheel and find the right space and flow with the peloton. Vingegaard obviously just wants to be in front. And Rangers is going for a second bike change, not optimal. Something wrong with his saddle, he said. I mean, it seems inconsequential, 40Ks to go, but if you have to spend energy, he's part of the Groenewegen lead-out. If it kicks off soon, you might not be coming back. So he seems pretty relaxed, but...
We've seen consequence of riders being dropped, riders coming back. How much do you think that has impacted the lead-outs of the sprint trains that we see across the road a little bit? Because we do look at the team of Little Trek, for example, being active earlier at the intermediate sprint, but also you said Stuyven looking a bit...
He's just having to work.
Yeah.
I think it will affect it, and I think it's going to mean that the long trains that can dominate and keep the pace high to the finish might be affected. I mean,
that is going to look good then.
Then you have a chance to shoot from the back, which is what Bert tries to do with Merlier. Place him at 600. When it slows, Merlier gets into the front 8 wheels, and then he can try and win. But I think the lead out of Stuyven and Consonni at the intermediate was not very fluid. Stuyven didn't know which way to change. Consonni then changed too late. Luckily for them, Milan's just too fast. And Philipsen got boxed by Coquard.
Yeah. We got to talk about one moment though. Earlier, one of the KOM points, the last KOM point of the day, we see Jonas Vingegaard coming to the front, going over the top in first position, looking next to him, looking behind him. It looked as if he was trying to get a KOM point. That was most likely not the reason.
No.
But
you got to get the money where you can.
come on. Going for KOM points already on day one? I don't think he's given up so early.
You need to get the pre money. I mean, if it's free money, get that money. Jorgensen's pacing the front now, but Benoit's coming up to the front. To me, Jorgensen and Wellens are like in the same role on these sort of stages. So we've got, see, look, Sturban's positioning right now.
Yeah.
At 38.4, he's doing the Benoit role. Foss is positioning Ineos. We've got Jorgensen, then Vingegaard, it's Wellens. Pogacar now is shouting out to Wellens and Narvaez. He does have those two in position. He is on their wheel. We've got a roundabout coming up. Both the left side was way quicker. Visma, UAE, and Ineos got the quick side and go straight through. The others have lost. You lose 50 positions right there. You're at the back of the peloton if you take the roundabout the wrong way. So this is going to be hectic for the next 45 minutes. Spectators on the road. I'm nervous, to be honest. And there's been no breakaway. I have Matisse Lebert in my Velo games got in the break because you get points for if they make it through halfway the stage in the breakaway. Breakaway got caught before halfway because of the peloton nervousness. So
I had Gashiniar in there, and he said to himself, okay, this breakaway is going to get called early, so I won't go into the breakaway today. So I think my Gashiniar played the correct move here. So when your Lebert is going to be gassed in the coming stages, it's going to be Gashiniar taking out the points.
UAE should shut that side.
Okay, I'm trying to move up there with Vokalin. Like, in these last 37 kilometers, we've had some zones, even in the early phase of this race, where we clearly saw lots of wind, lots of openness, etc. Abilities for potential echelons were there. Is there anything like that in these last 36.9 kilometers?
It's possible, and clearly the peloton thinks so because they're drag racing again. Rangers, who maybe was a bit too relaxed, is coming back again. And so, peloton's clearly sped. I mean, he's on the back bumper and they're drag racing. Motorbike comes up the inside just so they get through the bit on. So UAE look like they got their pretty full complement. Narvaez, Soler, Wellens, Pogacar. Ineos got Foss, Swift, Thomas, Watson. Israel are there with Stewart on their train with Ackerman. It's fully blocked across. Simmons is trying to move back up for Trek. Alpecin have done more than Trek, I would say, but they're in position they're blocking the right-hand side. But yeah, if the crosswinds start and you're at the back, that's tricky.
Yeah, for sure. Is that a extra on the left side?
Yeah, so X tried to come up with their train, but then half the train's at the back and got caught, so I don't know where he's going right now.
I think he thought everybody was on his wheel.
He thought everyone was on his wheel. And
but they're still at the back of the peloton.
They are not, so...
Now they're going to have to find a way to reconnect. It's just a waving over effect, It's like a washing machine effect of train tries to come across on the right side, then another train gets squeezed up as a consequence. This X man is trying to figure it out.
It's Leknesson, the newly crowned Norwegian national champ. I need him to... He can't ride a bike to save his life, so I need him to move away from the Visma train ASAP if possible. Really, really can't. But we got Riesbeek on the left for Alpecin with Ricard behind him. Schoens is placing Sturban and Johnny Milan. Who's the guy on the wheel of Riesbeek? Alpecin. I recognise him.
Looking for strings in their lead out.
The stringer.
He's the climbing type as well, He was an ex-CXer, or probably still does CX. Not that I follow it that in-depthly, but he's been pretty good on the road these last few months. So I was happy to see him on the start list of Alpecin. But talking about start lists, we've gone through the entire preview, of course, but we said that on paper, Trek has the strongest lead out for today. Alpecin is also relatively strong. That is there for Merlier. We already pointed to the fact that Mr. Bart might have a better chance of bringing Merlier up because Iltrek has worked already, hasn't lost. Well, Stuyven's already working at this point to position the team. I think that is now a rider ahead of Stuyven, right?
Schoint. Yeah. So UNOX has made their way to the front. They're now in front. Pollard's made his way to the UAE train. So they got 4 plus Pog. Visma got 3 plus Vingegaard. Groupama FDJ, I believe that's Guillaume Martin with Quentin Paget on the left-hand side.
That kit looks great, by the way. I've always been a fan of like the color combination of red and blue from the Senate Visit women's team. That's a great kit. Can we talk about the not-so-great kit? The one on the right side of our screen at the moment?
Oh yeah, the Total Energies one.
The Ineos Energy one.
Yeah. Igita's at the back. Who's 201? Is it Ackerman? On Israel. Who's their leader?
2-1.
It's not Ackerman.
Michael Woods.
So Woods, we're just seeing like Alaphilippe, Hirschi, Woods, Higuita, Martinez, maybe both Yates. This is a risky stage with the crosswinds and the nervousness. I mean, there could be a crash that splits it. There could be whatever. Let's see what EF have to say. Toby's completely snoring.
Don't even know where he is.
Sleep.
I love reading these team radios.
Even said Koos is moving up. Bora moved up on the left-hand side. I do quite like the Bora kits, actually.
Me too, actually. Like, it reminds me of what a Total kit would have looked like 4 years ago with the color scheme.
Remco is, we forgot to mention, Remco is right at the back.
Yeah, but he's doing the buffer thing, eh?
Yeah, but that's for crashes, not for crosswinds.
Yeah.
Oh, Campanarts chose the wrong way.
Were you surprised to see Red Bull not sending a rider back earlier when Lipovic was behind?
I was. Bora had, like, and I understand it, like, they've really played down the chances of Lipovic, you know, fans sitting on the road. And that's, you know, I would do the same thing.
Sitting on the road.
There was a fan sitting on the road and still allowed to wait for them to move. But then he was on 37 seconds with no convoy, and the race wasn't really that on. I was like, you can just send a Van Dijk back or a Picky back to help him come back. Like, you don't want him to just lose time for nothing. So I was surprised that they, basically that they didn't drop someone back for him. Merlier's moved up into position now.
Yeah.
Barenko is, I don't see the golden helmet, do you?
No, he's further down to the right bottom of the peloton right now on this helicopter.
Yeah, but Merlier has moved up for a reason.
Yes.
Quinn, where are you going?
But also because he's got a sprint to do in 31 kilometers, but
Trekker right there.
I think Remco just doesn't want to be in the middle. Like, we've said this numerous times where on one end you want to be at the front of the peloton with your team around you to protect you from crashes, because then you might be ahead of the crashes. But on the other end, the other option is being towards the back of the peloton with a buffer around you. And the worst part is being in that that fourth row into like row 10. Because that's where the whole washing machine effect happens, where every team wants to get to the front, goes to the front, and that overtakes another team that gets washed to the back. And the entire way, that happens for the last 20 kilometers. So you don't want to be in that spot. So I think he wants to avoid that. But like you said, being in this position is good for avoiding crashes, or better to avoiding crashes than being in the washing machine zone.
On a normal day, yeah.
But if there's echelons, then you might be in trouble. Maybe they just don't believe there will be splits.
If there's echelons and Remco doesn't make it, they drop Bert.
Nah, he'll bridge over solo. It's Remco. Come on, you've seen it before.
I hope so, but still, I mean,
they won't drop Bert back.
I hope there is echelons, so that it's a smaller group that comes into the finish.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it'd be safer if there's a smaller group. So there's a big drag race right now from Alpecin winning the drag race. There's full sprinting for a corner. Alpecin have crossed UAE onto the left-hand side. So Alpecin got Van der Poel, Riesebeek, Ricard, but I don't see Philipsen. Bora come to the front. Merlier's also in position. So there's a full drag race right now. I think there's must be a right-hand corner coming up, or maybe they just wanted that side. But Alpecin are preparing something.
Well, it seems straight for a bit longer.
And it's strange because the wind is coming from their left, so you get more shelter on the right side. So why did they change?
Roundabout maybe there?
Maybe to bring the whole team up?
Oh, there's a roundabout there.
Oh, the quicker roundabout to the left, and they were boxed. Or retake the...
Alpecin still has the right side of our road. If we look at it from front angle, we've got Bora kind of in the middle, but Visma's trying to move past Bora now. Vingegaard. He's been at the front of the peloton a bit too much for comfort, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like first position.
Compared to Pogacar, he's eating a lot of wind because you still need to save your bullets for if it does explode. Well, strange time to get a musette from Vincent Martin's though.
I'm surprised you didn't ruin that name.
Is that his name?
Roel Vincent Martin's deck, yeah.
I said it quicker than Benji.
Yeah, you did. I could see myself living on that island. No worries. Having to swim to the bakery every day.
It would be shit.
It would be very shit. Wow, what a beautiful lake. There we go. Race is back on. The amount of crashes so far, are they as expected or do you expect more?
I think two crashes is kind of normal.
Really freak out the Thomas and Verger one.
True, yeah, that was a very strange crash. Oy.
Fight for the position for that roundabout. Everybody gets through nicely though.
In modern cycling, it's actually impossible, I think, to keep more than 4 guys at the front in a bubble. Like, no team can do it. If you have 6, the 5th and 6th guys just get chopped out of it. Like, you have to have a short training.
Yeah.
Or do it for a very short period of time. But
you're GC rider and maybe your co-leader also.
Co-leader, 2 rouleurs, and a GC leader, and then maybe you rotate the rouleurs or something.
And do you want your co-leader then to be in the same train as your GC? Or if a crash happens there, then they're both out.
Yeah. When's the crosswinds coming, Luke?
Is the guy not supposed to know?
Well, Luke said no echelons today.
I trust Luke.
But I did see one echelon before.
Wow.
And with a split in crosswind.
Like, define what is an echelon? Like, at what point do we call it an echelon? When it's like one meter in between them?
No, when there has to be gaps for quite a while.
So there were no echelons, what you're saying?
There were no echelons. UAE tribe didn't. Because they're in too many villages and forested areas at the moment.
Yeah. Too many houses.
Well, let's see after this village. Probably call this a city. So Visma's trying to undercut.
But you don't need the echelons. You don't need the actual splits to happen for consequences to come from the actual stress. That's why we have the crashes. Everybody keeps fighting for the position. I thought something happened there.
They were breaking.
Ooh, something
went into the drivetrain of number 6 on Jaco. It's Groenewegen, though. Or Plappy.
It is Plappy.
It looked like a leaflet or a flyer went into his drivetrain, and I don't know if he crashed, but you could see Soler when they came to that corner braked. Now they're full drag racing and changing sides. Lots of road and furniture, speed bumps. And the 3 strongest teams, UAE, Alpecin, and Visma, are really coming to the front. So it looks like game on right now. Fred Wright's there. I wouldn't mind Fred Wright. There's echelon, sneaky top 10 today.
Yeah, it's possible, but
is this the Stringer? It must be because I don't recognise him on Alps. Why is every Alpecin, even when they bring up a child from U23s, he can ride the front in the Tour de France flat stage?
He's
Like
number 108.
like a rouleur.
But he's actually a good rider.
Yeah, he's actually good though. That's the thing.
Like, he can climb.
Like Senna Romain, who they just brought up from the Devo team for next year, he's like a really good rider.
He got...
Schelmo's at the back. Schelmo's at the back.
Oh?
I think it wasn't just flat.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't just flat that had that issue. Maybe we should have the multi-screen, but I prefer to have the main camera.
Yeah.
It couldn't have just been one rider.
Yeah.
Romeo cramping or mech? Romeo has a mech or a cramp. X has come to the front as well. Rear flat for Romeo.
Yeah. Mechanical.
He's out.
Wow. It's not like today was the most relevant day for Romeo anyway. If anything, it's probably good that he loses time and goes in the breakaway next week.
Great. Stage 6.
Yeah, true. By the way, Verstappen got 14th at Liège-Bastogne.
Yeah, elite.
16th on the Tour de Suisse Mountain Time trial. Bro's good.
He's actually good, yeah. All the Alpecin Diva guys they bring up are normally good.
Someone in the chat says,
Oh, Lenny, no.
well, to be fair, he's been half of the back all day. But
if you're a Lenny KOM believer, then that belief got a lot stronger today.
Someone in the chat says, don't tell Alpecin that Verstappen can climb, they might not extend him.
Exactly, yeah. They just think that right now they just think he's a miscellaneous rouleur. But
Yeah. Ooh, Luke says 1 kilometer to the turn.
Trekker in position with Stoins leading out Milan. We got Alpecin on the right, X with 2, Visma with 4, plus Van Aert on the Alpecini train. Movistar got 2, Ineos got detached, they got 2, although they're coming up the right-hand side with Tudor. Picnic got a train of 6, actually. Haven't seen them much today, but they're actually in position right now where they need to be. Full drag race starting. Pogacar is a bit deeper. He is, but still on road 10 or so, but he is in the washing machine right there.
Ooh.
He's not with his team, and
Also, riders
the
decided to jump that traffic
rider's
alley.
shooting back. Yeah, this is really stressful. The road gets wide though, so you can now, if you have a leader, move back up.
But clearly, this is a different zone. Oh,
That was Lewis He's out. He just had a change. His rear derailleur's just been knocked off. He's out.
yeah. I like the thread in the pelotons there, but it's very like bubbled up. So it's not like there's one team taking control and being like, okay, we're gonna absolutely shred the peloton here. That's not happening. Another Israel rider with some problems there at the back on the right, and there's someone waiting with him. Right?
Mm.
Not a fan of that kid, by the way.
There's echelons almost happening without the peloton trying right now. If the peloton tries, it will split.
But everybody's important is at the front, so...
Man, these stages are crazy. Who's Movistar? Garcia Cortina?
Yes.
Yeah. Look, Movistar, fantastic job. They got Garcia Cortina, Oliveira, and Enric. Enric just braked so much through the corner and just shuffled back a fair bit. But yeah, this is the big turn. And because of the road furniture, it's in a line, but I don't know if... I feel like the wind direction was better before.
It definitely doesn't feel cross-tailwind right now.
Dude, Vingegaard can't feel the fucking chain.
We're actually on the right there behind the confidence rider, or am I inventing that?
Pogacar is...
The left bottom there, no? Behind the confidence
yeah.
dude? Yeah, I think so. P30-ish? P30, 40-ish. Yeah, Israel rider. Thought so. Don't know who that is though. Went too fast. Is Musk pushing?
It won't split.
I don't think so either. You can see it by the way that...
Is there another turn?
Moving up on the left bottom there, Bobby. There we go. He's back. Straight up in the window, but...
Road furniture on the right.
Also, the kind of barriers with feet, which also is off.
I think the stronger crosswind was on the wider road before.
Yeah.
That was when they were almost half splitting it without trying.
But also, it's harder to pull it on a wide road than on a narrow road, you know?
Yeah.
Because then there's more space on the road for riders to line
Still, if
hiding.
Alberton went to one side and pressed, it would. But then it's like, okay, if you're a sprint team,
Yeah.
you then have to use your whole lead out to split it. You then have to use your whole lead out.
Ooh,
Axel Laurent's gone. You then have to use your whole lead out to keep the split. And you might have freeloaders. The GC teams might not help you. So I get the sprinters teams. I can understand why they didn't split it.
Yeah. We tried a little bit, but on the wrong moment, in my opinion.
At 100.
Yeah.
I think they.
So too early. It's
I think they wanted to show because Visma push and then they weren't in position and then they wanted to sort of.
Little Trek is now keeping their horses round the left.
But Pagasi's positioned himself.
Yeah. He's had some help by the team, mostly Wellens and Sivakov at certain points, but a lot of the time he's just positioning himself, trying to get to the field. He wasn't even on the Visma train.
Yeah, it's gone. He's dropped.
Yeah. He had a mechanical earlier, had to come back, but now looks like he might lose time on stage 1. Let's add that to the notes so I don't forget that on the
And he's got
podcast.
Matteo Bashir in front of him, who was the Bashir was in the early breakaway. It might slow down though. Like from 15 K's, Luke. Do you think it'll slow down? Then yeah, when the crosswind nervousness stops, it might slow down again. But Pogacar's in perfect position. Is the road furniture. Vingegaard's riding. He's trying to split it.
Yeah, but
The Alberson guy's not rolling through.
also on top of that, it's going to come back together after this segment, and the group's going to be full again.
If someone drops the wheel down there,
Yeah, but then it's still a peloton on the other side of the road that will close it back. So this is not a good zone to do it. Now it might be possible. After that, Traffic Island. And they are trying. Visma Leasebike is trying to split it.
Pogacar's in the perfect position.
Yeah.
All they're doing
is putting Simon Yates in a grave.
Chivo Nates. Is that Chivo Nates? 83.
Yes, that's the best. But Shane must have crashed as well. Of course, he's the one that Thomas crashed.
The right turn is coming up now. And the wind will come from the right.
Luke says there's a right turn coming, then the wind comes from the right for the peloton, and Visma's trying to position himself to that corner as fast as possible. There we go.
Eric Mas in front.
Yeah, the flags would shout cross right Elvin, no?
Where we snorted. They're showing the people in the KOM jerseys. They're not showing the peloton.
Hello, people in the KOM jerseys. There we go. Jonas in second position. Jonas is pulling. Jonas is straight up trying to pull this echelon. Brenton in second. He's going to pull.
Pull through it. Go on. Who's the cheater?
Enric Mas, there we go. Then my vote or something?
No. The second shooter. It's not splitting.
Nah.
Was right.
He's celebrating that it was right that it happened. Technically, it's a split. Dirk is off the back.
Yeah.
It's
That is a split. There's a one-man split.
there's a big slip.
Oh, look, it's spoiler Luke. Luke in the Benji copter. So what people don't know is when I used to watch the race in Australia, Benji would watch it on terrestrial TV in Belgium. And then Benji would be texting me something 30 seconds before I see it, and I say the Benji copter. That's a big ass split.
Yeah, it is.
Is this echelon to look crafted? Maybe your European model smiley
This is
face.
an echelon. This is an echelon.
European model was not correct. Is it worth?
But who's behind?
Is it worth Visma killing Simon Yates if Almeida loses time?
No.
You don't think?
I'm sorry, no.
It's just, to be honest, I think it's just irrelevant.
I think it's completely irrelevant.
But it's a good theoretical. Oh, Junge. I'm not sure Van Aert made the first echelon.
I think Philipsen.
Because these boys were behind earlier because of that mechanical.
Yeah. That's Mulberger. Jurgensen, Vingegaard, Affini,
Vogelen.
Kevin Vogel. These flies. Where's my fly slot?
I don't know what your fly swatter is.
Is that right?
This is Rouge.
I know.
I think it will stop. Yeah. Van der Poel.
Is he Arkea dude?
What sprinters we got? That's Vogel.
Yeah.
What sprinters we got here?
Philipsen.
Philipsen has to be there, otherwise Van der Poel wouldn't be pacing.
Philipsen Groves.
Technically, Pogacar won a sprint stage at the Dauphiné, so we can count him.
Tobias Johannesson, the Juno X. Him.
Yeah, that is him.
Evenepoel must be behind.
Alpecin looking good in this situation, but I'm looking for quick step indeed. Because I don't see Melier nor Remco in this
Casper
group.
Aspen, Harry Sweeney, Bini.
I don't see a golden helmet.
Merlier's not there. This is Echelon 2. Campenaerts, no way he fucking made it.
They're pulling for it.
Yeah, that's the second
Can
peloton.
they zoom the heli shot? Did they just close it? Did they just shut it?
I don't know. They're on 17 seconds, so I really doubt that.
The judge,
Milan is also there.
Milan has missed it.
Remco's also there, I think. I don't know. I can't see Remco.
Roglic, Milan, Merlier, and I think Remco have missed this echelon. Ooh, Remco nearly crashed.
He's in the second echelon, for sure then, obviously.
Yeah. But he just got pushed to the side. And now it's in the second echelon. But now these guys are really rolling through. If you're Movistar, and Ricky's made it, you got boys here, get rid of Remco and Almeida or Yates. I mean, for Philipsen, this is a layup, right? He's got a fucking full train. And
No Melier, no Milan.
just Vinny and Sam Watson. By the way, Sam Watson, thank God they put that lad in the team.
Yeah.
He fucking made echelon.
He's so good.
He's so good.
And he could have done this sprint too, you know?
I think Ackerman's made it. I saw one of the Israel guys saying Tranquilo. Varshol? Is that Varshol behind Poggy?
Yes.
I would say,
You know, it's also.
I would say after a day like this, Varshol?
Omloop style?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Absolutely flat. Vogelin's full ride. And Jorgensen is the U80 boys full ride? I think
Pogacar was turning.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
To turn. Otherwise, you get to risk getting split again.
And also, Remco is not like the main objective of UAE to beat here, but if you see an opportunity to take down on your competitor, one of your competitors, you do it.
Of course, but they don't hand out 20 seconds for free.
Exactly.
I mean, thank God, by the way, there were echelons. I did not want to see a full peloton running.
Can still come back.
And Jonas Vingegaard launched the echelon.
He legit did. He legit did.
That's so funny.
So there's the track at the back not turning. I think Philipsen is at the bottom. I love how I had this as my point.
Wout not in that group for Visma, by the way.
No, he wasn't in position.
Who's the Jaco rider?
They're kind of losing some. I think everyone should just ride all out, right? Why is Watson riding?
For himself?
He was
No.
not there, what you see.
Yeah, if I was Watson, you sit at the back, right?
Yeah, you should. But yeah, sitting at the back is easier said than done in an echelon, but
Yeah,
he shouldn't be pulling that much, you know?
Remco's at the back of this group with Roglic there, right there. And Stelmoser, Remco, he's trying to move himself up. It's 23 seconds. I think that the front group needs to, because the back group, Oscar Onley's with Remco, nearly a crash there over a bit on the Gott Jetson. Geraint Thomas is in this group.
Almeida, number 2.
Is he? Almeida, your Red Bench is correct. I mean, a Trek not chasing? Who's chasing?
Trying to figure it out. The camera's zoomed out a little bit.
Zoom out.
Oh, it's good on quick step.
One quick step up. The EF boys. I mean,
These
EF.
guys are not coming back at this rate.
I don't know. I feel like this group.
There's an opportunity to come back, but they're not collaborating enough.
I feel like this group is not returning enough. Or you think Albertson's are full committee?
Yeah, they are. Visma as well.
Yeah.
That's Affini, right? And
Yeah.
He's just dead.
But Van der Poel, Affini, Groves are riding. Bernard needs to ride full. But like, it looks like
Affini looks like he's running his soul out of his
it
body.
looks like a headwind falls flat.
Yeah.
But Movistar need to ride full for Oliver from Enrique.
Yeah,
And
for
then,
sure.
But then you...
Roglic, Slipovic, Remco, they're all not there.
I don't know who the EF's 33 and 38.
I'm guessing a Paulus. So 38 is Marijn van den Berg, 33 is Alkeren.
Alvin should pull Van den Berg and come top 3, maybe.
Iniam on the right. And that is Groenewegen on the left bottom as well. So those are the two other sprinters, right? Right there? That's Groenewegen, right?
These teams should all ride full. You're not going to beat Merlier or Milan.
That's Metzgets and... I'm not sure if it's Groenewegen. That's definitely Metzgets.
You know, extra riding. Who is Dainese in here?
Dainese in the range.
Shooter or riding?
112 is Dainese.
The gap has gone out another 3 seconds after Van der Poel started pulling. It is one quick stepper, one Bora. Trek are not riding, but this group is big. But there's a lot of these teams represented in front. So, I lied. Trek do have one there riding. And my fellow games team, Julian, I need you. I'll put you in last minute. You think it comes back, Benji?
I don't think
I think it comes back because
there's nothing there in the second collaboration ones.
if you're Tobias Johannesson and you can take 30 seconds on Remco for free,
Yeah.
plus let Varenstal sprint,
And the Uruguays are pacing.
yeah, and Bellens is riding, Garcia Cortina, Bernot,
Yeah.
Uruguay, like, is it Abrahamson the truck?
Yes, but his collarbone might still be hurt.
Yeah, he's riding, and he still made the front
He can
edge.
ride in Ponto Vivo. I mean, he looks like he's about to order his own
A
company.
beanie road, I mean, there's rouleurs and there's rouleurs. Like, a
Yeah.
beanie road the whole day in front, Enrique's turning. And then now he made the first epsilon.
Respect Enrique Mas. You had given up on him a week ago.
I
Can't believe
didn't
it.
give up on him.
You gave up on him.
I said he's my enemy. Very, very different, Benji. Very, very different concepts. I think Pogacar's going to sprint. Pogacar's going to sprint.
Right. Why not?
Or what are these
Oh.
idiots doing?
Absence riding away with two riders. I think he can't close it.
Albon's doing this on purpose.
Yeah, they are. Benoit's in the Benoit. Oh,
Yeah, but no won't ride.
no. Someone has to close it now. Otherwise,
Well, yeah, what are they doing? But Bernot will sit on.
he would have to pay now.
Yeah, Bernot will not pull.
Yeah, but Benoit being there is going to use this because he's definitely going to lose the sprint from Van Poel there.
It means Valens has to jump, which means Movistar jumped, and then it means Albertson won't relay full. And
But they need the cooperation to get the second group behind. It's much more relevant to get Remco out than to get a little joyful game going.
yeah, Albertson don't care about getting Remco out.
Yeah, I know, but Benoit, it does.
The group's come back 10 seconds now.
That's what games do.
I don't know what Albertson trying to go for the stage there.
It's they're right to do it. I'm perfectly fine with Alpecin doing it. Just that Benoit's riding, not sitting up. It's not sitting.
Valens won't ride either.
Yeah.
Van der Poel should wait. Sweeney closes it. I think Albertson was sort of like more of these teams should be riding.
Yeah, but now they got to get it back together. Eh? Gap is back to 29 seconds.
No, I think that it was not. It was fake news. And it's
Fake news timing.
Yeah.
Italian time gaps. I'm feeling good about Jasper Philipsen in my Velo games team right now.
Oh, and by the way, regarding the audio, everybody, yeah, we know we just had to have a stopgap solution today with the shotgun mic. I hope it's still audible and it's been, bearable for you. Tomorrow or for the next watch along, we'll have a better fix. But Benji only arrived last night. We don't have much, it's all violin, I know.
We have no money.
It's nothing to do with money, it's to do with being poorly organised. But thanks for the support. Although Jurgensen's like attacking.
Straight up attacking. Nah. Or trying to keep the tempo going. One of the two.
I don't know.
Feels like an attack to me.
This is an attack. Poggy's responding.
Poggy's responding. The co-leaders are attacking.
Bro, what are these guys doing? I think Vingegaard's going to attack.
Boys, you got to keep collaborating going. You got to keep going, boys.
It's 40 seconds, but one of the boards, the Van Dyke stuff, you see him pull off?
Remco losing 40 seconds on the first stage.
Why did one of these domestiques not? I guess if you're Jaco right now,
Yeah.
Group 2's not coming back. So you can serve the leader. You don't care if you win by.
Alperson's also waiting with their lead out.
Yeah, because Alpecin don't care. They don't care if you win by 2 seconds or 40. It's the GC teams that need to ride, and it's your. I mean, X should be riding.
Yeah.
Like to keep Remco behind. One of the Alpecins is going again. Wellens is marking. Poggy is going. Vingegaard straight on the wheel.
Now they're seemingly taking control. They're trying to control the group now. This ain't an attacking move. This is trying to keep it going. This is trying to make sure that the group goes to the line. This is trying to make sure that Philipsen gets an optimal chance to sprint. I'm feeling okay about Biniam so far as well, to be honest. I don't think we should ignore Biniam Girman.
So who have we got to sprint here? Maybe Dainese. I'm not sure. Philipsen, big favourite. Varensol for X. Groenewegen for Jacob.
No, he isn't there. It's Medgets.
It's Medgets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Biniam Girmay with not many teammates for Wanty.
BCS reports Stuyven being there.
Sam Watson. There is a Trek. There is a Trek sitting on at the back.
And it's Stuyven just chilling there.
Pogacar's riding. Vingegaard should also ride through.
Like, if Stuyven is there, he might as well go for a late attempt on an attack, because everybody's a bit tired, stuff like that. But then again, he's been riding all day.
Is Garcia Cortina? Yes.
Yes.
And since Jan Fredheim is there, I think X should go for a flyer. Varenschool,
Fredheim, Johannesson, and Wadenskold.
not now, but
Reverse lead-out style, maybe.
yeah. To be honest, Benji, even
Definitely not a super strong lead-out left.
even though they've been fucking about, this group is way stronger than group.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this group, I mean, they've been fucking about and the gap's gone up 10 seconds. Turnison? See that?
Let's take a look. Where the Astana boys doing this in Amber.
So Turnison said this morning, and listen, Turnison, the man who won the yellow jersey as a huge underdog in 2019,
Yes.
he said this morning, on these sort of stages, you have strange winners and anything can happen.
He would know.
He would know because he literally did it. And now Ricard just signalled to Vermeersch or Riesbeck to take the wheel of Velens. I don't know who who's the Israelis. I don't know.
Nolens and Blackmore.
There's a couple of Israels.
Nolens and Blackmore, so no. I think Ackermann was behind him, was the one with the mechanical maybe, and that's why that's why a few riders waited for him earlier.
I think there's going to be some late flyers here.
I hope so. I like some action. And then when Roglic is getting hit with a 38-second gap in the first stage of the Tour de France. Ay, 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 ay. That is not optimal. Lipovic as well, 38 seconds. Almeida. Oh, he crashed the back. Ooh. I think there was an Alpecin rider involved as well, but it's 193. Or whatever the fuck that number was.
No, just missed it. Groves nearly holds it. Groves holds it.
Yeah.
Enric holds it up somehow.
But it is O'Connor, right?
Or it was the Tudor guy gave the EF guy a big shoulder.
Jonas and Pogacar in front of the peloton with 3.7 kilometers to go. Welcome to the Tour de France, baby.
This is crazy. I mean, these guys every stage now just go crazy. I mean, Medgets should work. I mean, well, no, O'Connor's going to get caught and passed by the peloton before he gets up, right?
Yeah. Maybe he gets up in time, I don't know, but it's definitely not ideal, of course.
Dude, I think a late attacker is going to win.
Watson in P2 at the moment? Is that Ballerini in P3? Or Turnison? One of the two, of course.
It's Turnison. Luke says they're protected by the 5 kilometre rule. Is that true? Were they in under 5Ks?
That is correct, yes.
I think a late attacker, if one goes, can win because Bellens is riding full, so Poggy's got no one else. Watson and Turnison aren't going to ride. Alpecin don't have Groves anymore, and Ricard's tired. I think Enrique has just come back on. Garcia Cortina got him. But Bellens is just riding full. Now Varenschool moves up on the right-hand side.
Wellens sees an opportunity to take more time there.
That's so tough for Vandenberg. Like you're about to
late call up too.
You're about to compete for a stage win in the Tour. You make the front echelon, and then
wasn't supposed to be here, I think.
Yeah.
And Carapaz being out led to Van den Berg being in.
I think it's cross headwind right here, but
I don't think it's going to resplit here. It's just that well-in-season opportunity to take more time on all the GC riders that are behind. And Pogacar wants Almeida to lose as much time as possible.
Everyone else is going for the sprint now. Abraham moves up Varensgold.
They've got a good train still there. To 4 riders, actually.
Yeah,
Not 3.
you know, X have 4.
Who's the 4th rider
I'm
then?
telling you, they should lose the wheel. If they lose the wheel of Abrahamson Benji, he wins. If there's a corner and they lose his wheel, he wins. Like, there's not so much control from Albertson and the others. Like here, I'll let him go.
Is that looks already positioning himself? No, it's 4. They've got all 4 there. Oh, they've realised that it's 5K rule.
I know we don't have the multicam up, but they've not shown the peloton at all.
Well, the second peloton. You're right.
The peloton's gaining on them a little bit, but then these guys will start doing the lead out. So I think it'll end up being around 30 seconds.
Obviously going to move up on the left side of the road, but also one of the riders, I think Ricard, maybe on the right side right now.
Ricard, but he doesn't have his guys with him. He's trying to move over into them. Jurgensen's moving up himself.
Video getting squeezed between. Whoa!
Vinny just gave Jurgensen a big don't argue.
Philipsen on the right side in the wheel of 2 other Alpecin riders.
Vingegaard's gone to the back to just not lose time, staying with Poggi.
Currently, Unox is in control, but Alpecin looks like they're about to take over whenever they will decide to.
Philipsen's gone. Dude, Groves came back.
Yeah, he did. Rose is back for the lead out.
Oh,
that's insane.
I mean, you
Now
want
moving up himself on the left side.
said, why do they bring Groves plus Van plus Philipsen? He wants to go to the Tour de France. I don't think he's ever done it.
Imagine if Dainese wins.
Exactly, this would be a classic. But Ricard begins his lead out. Ricard, then Van der Poel, then Groves. This is going to be Philipsen cannot lose this.
Redheim and Warren still talking to each other.
Like Ricard literally cannot lose this sprint. Well, Philipsen can't.
Warren still goes to the wheel of Fred. Time or they're chatting.
He's telling him to box on. No,
Yeah.
it's Varensgold leading out Fred. No.
Bro. Ooh! Because he was looking right.
Ackerman launches early on the right hand side.
Is it Ackerman?
It is. No.
I don't see German arms. I don't think it is. I think it's an early attack.
Bro, that was at 250.
Philipsen goes to the left side, Vinny, I'm in the wheel.
Vinny in the wheel. Turgis. Anthony Turgis in the wheel. Vinny, come on, Vinny. Philipsen, easy dub.
Jasper Philipsen takes stage 1 of the Tour de France in pretty spectacular manner.
Crazy stage, man. Oh.
Alpecin wrote that relatively perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they did. Let's count.
Peloton 2. Remco Evenepoel, Roglic, Lipovic losing more than half a minute today.
And Almeida. Danny Van Poppel.
Arnold Oliva about to try and sprint for the...
Bro, what are Bora doing?
Why are you sprinting, bro?
What? They didn't use Van Poppel and Meus for Roglic to then do a lead out and sprint.
That is so fucking stupid.
What am I witnessing? Like, I understand when it first splits, you save him, but eventually you know you're not coming back.
Exactly.
But what the fuck? 40 seconds, 39 seconds? Great stage, great start.
Is it me or did the final road like go up and down the whole time?
It seemed like they were going slow.
I don't think we're going slow, but... Woo! Velo games, boy! Yeah, for a great pick.
Oh yeah, that's I got Jurgensen in mind and he came like 5th.
I want to see the rest of the top 10 as well, because I'm pretty hyped about the result here.
Yeah, I could not guess that top 10.
So, Waddenschool in third after Girmay and Philipsen. Then we got Turgin fourth, Trentin in fifth. Clément Rousseau almost picked them. Ouch. Benoit, Jorgensen, Meyerhofer, Watson, Mike Teunissen.
Yes, we got Rudolph Cam. We got Rudolph Cam just smiling like an evil villain. He is my favourite guy in cycling, bro.
No questionable take, but...
See, Jorgensen trying to shoot the barrier there.
Easy win by Philipsen.
Yeah, easy. I'm telling you, I should have gone for a fly with that one.
So, this was our first watch along of this Tour de France. We're going to do more of these. We're going to try and get a better mic system for it.
I do have to rest. I got a bit of a throat issue at the moment, so I don't want to overuse my voice. We'll shut it down. Check in with us in 5 to 10 minutes for the LRTP recording. Thanks for watching as always. Ciao, ciao.